Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to do a video on my recent surgery that I got. As you can see, I've got a scar on my neck here. I posted a video a few months ago where I discovered a lump in my neck, which very much panicked me. I remember when I found it, I came home from work and I was wearing like a black top, and I came home and I looked in the mirror and I kind of went like that because like I've put on a little bit of weight, and sometimes I like joke like, oh, I've got a double chin. I don't know, I also have an overbite, which is really annoying. I really want correcting, but what can you do? I could have got it done when I was 13, but I was too scared to walk around in a head brace being 13 years old, sorry. But I looked in the mirror and I went like this and I could see like a lump here, and I was like, it was really small, but I noticed it and I just felt this dread come over me. I was like, oh my god, what is that? So I went downstairs and I was like, Mum, I've got a lump in my neck. And when you think of a lump, you get scared. You think the worst. So started panicking because I'm a hypochondriac and I cry and I get emotional about stuff a lot. So I panicked and I actually rang 111, which is like the non-emergency number for here in the UK, and they booked me in for a doctor's appointment the next morning. So I went to the doctor's. Sorry, I need to stop saying So I went to the doctor's and he felt it and he was like, like, I'm not sure. He's like, it could be fluid buildup. He actually did say it could be a cyst. And I was just scared it was something really bad. So I was like, is there like any chance it could be something sinister? And he was like, oh, I don't think so, but we'll need to get you checked for an ultrasound or ultrascan. So he didn't tell me 100% it was going to be anything. It could be, I mean, it could have been the worst, who knows. But he told me to book me in for an ultrasound. So I was like, okay. And we pay for the NHS here, so our national health insurance kind of stuff we pay for through our tax and national insurance. So, and because of corona and everything going on at the moment, the waiting lists are quite long for healthcare at the moment. So when he told me he referred me, I was like, how long do you think it would be? And he literally couldn't do a day. And I suffer really bad with anxiety, so I was at home and I'm like, I cannot wait weeks. Like, what if this, or months, like what if this is something serious? So I went online, did some research, and I actually found an ultrasound clinic about 10 minutes away from me. It was 90 to £100, and they focus on like cysts in the neck and stuff. So I went there straight away, booked it, paid the money, like it is what it is. And I went there with my mum. I was so terrified, and I walked in, I sat down, and this lovely doctor, or you know, he put the gel on my neck and started moving it about, and he was like, okay, like, you don't need to worry, it's something called a thyroglossal cyst. And I was like, okay. And apparently it's a birth defect which I was born with, which just popped out now. And I found that really hard to believe because I've never noticed this lump in my neck, and it is a huge lump on my neck, but it's kind of popped out as I've got older, and it's actually really common in children, but I've never noticed it. So when it popped out, I was like, okay. He said I would need to have surgery to get it out. And at this point I was like, whatever, like as long as it's nothing sinister, as long as, you know, I'm not going to need treatment and stuff, get it out. So I sent the scan notes to my actual doctor and rang him, and he looked at it, he's like, okay, awesome, like I'll refer you to a hospital and we'll get the surgery out of the way. So he referred me, and then within a few months I was booked in for my surgery, which was February the 22nd. Not gonna lie, it wasn't a pleasant experience. I had to go in on my own because of COVID. I was okay. I was less nervous than I thought, but I was still absolutely terrified. I think it was the lead up which was the worst. I was crying most days because I've never been put to sleep, and it's such a scary experience, like leading up to that, if you've never been through it. So I was waiting for ages at the surgery, and then the anesthesiast came in. That's not how you say it. Oh, what's the word? Anaesthetist, that's it. Came in, and he walked me right into theatre, which I don't think was a good idea for me because I walked past all the people like waking up in recovery with oxygen masks on, and I was like, oh my god, that's gonna be me. I walked into surgery, I started reaching, like being sick, I started crying, it was a mess, but I was so like, it was just all too much. And then I laid down and I had the most lovely anaesthetists. They were so nice. They held my hand. They were like, because I was shaking uncontrollably. My whole body was shaking. I've never experienced shakes like it because I was so scared. And I laid down and they put the anaesthetic in me. The last thing I remember is holding the anaesthetist's hands, saying to him, "You promise I'll be okay." And the next thing I remember, I was waking up in the recovery room and I had an oxygen mask over my face and I had lots of wires. And I was just going, ow, 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 because I was obviously in pain, but I was on a lot of morphine as well. And they were like, "Okay, we'll come over." And they came over and they gave me some drugs in my arm or something. And I was wheeled into the recovery room. And I'm not going to lie, recovery was painful. I think I remember the second day in, I couldn't lift my head. I also had a drain in my neck, like here, which had a load of blood and fluid coming through, which I had to go back to the hospital to get changed the next day. I had the option to go home, and because of COVID and everything, I wanted to go home. I also threw up in the night, which was a terrible experience when you've had your neck cut open. But they took my hyoid bone out and they took the cyst and removed it, and it's gone. They said there's a chance it could grow back, but it's very small, and especially if the bone's gone, like, it's highly unlikely, so touch wood, that it will never grow back. Recovery took 2 weeks, and you have to not lift anything for 6 weeks because it could be dangerous and you don't want to hurt yourself. I couldn't lift my head. I couldn't eat much food for the past, I'd say maybe like 3-5 days, because it hurt to move your jaw and everything. Like, everything hurt. My ear hurt as well because it's ears, nose and throat, you know, they were like connected. I was in a lot of pain. But yeah, like, I'm fine now. I've got a really cool scar which I actually kind of love, because you can tell a story what you've been through, and I think it really represents strength as well, that you've been through something like that. Like, I'd never thought I'd be one of these people who tell people and they'll be like, "Oh my god, I could never do that," when in reality, you know, you can do it. Like, it's all okay. Being put to sleep was actually amazing, so do not be scared about that. I know it's really easier said than done, but it's actually amazing. Like, I was just like, God, and woke up, I was like, oh, that was over. But recovery was probably the worst for me, but 2 weeks is over and done with, and you're all good. You just need someone to help you. I got a lot of drugs, a lot of anti-sickness, which is good. And yeah, so for anyone who's going through this or has been diagnosed with a thyroglossal cyst, everything will be okay. I've made a video on my TikTok about it, which has got like 100,000 views, which is actually mad. So if any of you want to see what my process and what it actually looked like, click below and find the video on my TikTok. And if you guys have any questions about this surgery or what I went through to be diagnosed and everything, let me know and I will give you a message. I actually haven't had the results back for the lump in my neck. My surgeon said it probably is going to be benign. I was meant to have a checkup, didn't have that. This is the NHS, but I guess no news is good news, so I think I'm all good, touch wood. But yeah, it's all good, it's all gone. So if you guys have any questions or are going through the same surgery, feel free to give me a message. And yeah, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you've got any questions, feel free to pop them down below. Bye guys.